What if I told you a player came off the bench for just 19 minutes and still dominated so hard, it felt like the entire game bent around her? Yeah, that actually happened, and what followed was straight up legendary. Welcome back to WNBA Vibe, where we break down the most clutch, savage moments in the game. Because in a high-stakes FIBA World Cup qualifier, she didn't just play, she rewrote the record books. 5 world records shattered and walked away with MVP against elite international competition. That's not normal, that's takeover mode. And trust me, the clip you're about to see, it proves every single word. Check this out.
Missed those 5 games with a quad injury, but definitely looked like she did not miss a step at all. Clark tied her career high for 3-pointers.
That was insane, right? And now you understand the pressure, global spotlight, every camera locked in, and instead of folding, she flipped the entire script. This wasn't just a comeback, this was a straight-up declaration that the game itself had changed. No hype, no exaggeration, just pure, undeniable dominance. The kind of moment where if you blinked, you already missed history being written in real time. And what went down in Puerto Rico? Oh, it gets even crazier. So lock in, because what Caitlin Clark did next makes every so-called great comeback look small. And trust me, this next clip breaks down exactly how it all started in that first game. Check this out.
MVP of the tournament, Miss Caitlin Clark.
Man, that clip said it all. The chaos, the pressure, the moment hanging by a thread. And here's where it gets real strategic. Cara Lawson made the call to bring Caitlin Clark off the bench, and honestly, on paper, it was the smart move. 8 months out, international stage, you ease her in, limited minutes, low pressure, let her shake off the rust. That was the blueprint. Controlled, calculated, safe. But here's the problem. Senegal didn't care about the blueprint. They came out with that suffocating full-court press, turning the game into straight-up chaos. The offense stalled, turnovers piled up, and Team USA looked rattled. You could feel the tension everywhere, the court, the crowd, even through the screen. This thing was slipping fast. And then, she checked in. No hesitation, no warm-up mode, just straight IQ and killer instinct. She started reading that press like a veteran, breaking it down before it could even fully form. The entire energy shifted. You could literally feel the momentum flip. And what she does next in this clip. Yeah, this is where things go from intense to absolutely unreal. Watch this.
The free throw line, and that's Senegal's first field goal of the game.
Team USA to sub players in and out.
Yeah, that's where everything flipped, didn't it? The moment she stepped in, it stopped looking like a struggle and started looking like a masterclass. Caitlin Clark wasn't just breaking the press, she was weaponizing it. Pushing in transition before the defense could even breathe, firing passes into spots defenders didn't even know existed yet. That same pressure that had Team USA in survival mode, it turned into her personal fast break factory. She's reading the game 2 moves ahead, creating angles at full speed that don't even make sense, playing like she's been in rhythm all season, not coming off an 8-month layoff. And the numbers? Straight up ridiculous. 17 points, 12 assists, and 0 turnovers. 0. Off the bench. In just 19 minutes. In a game where the starters couldn't even cross half-court clean. That's not a comeback, that's control at an elite, almost unfair level. But here's where it goes from dominant to historic. Those 12 assists, they didn't just fill up the stat sheet, they shattered records. We're talking all-time Team USA debut record, men or women. Then she wipes out the global record for assists in any senior national team debut. Every country, every player, gone. And just for good measure, she takes the all-time record for assists by a bench player in international basketball. That's 3 levels of history in one night. And trust me, the next clip shows exactly why those numbers weren't luck. They were inevitable. Watch this.
Billings up to Clark. Clark takes her first shot. And it's a 3, and it is good.
You felt that energy, didn't you? The crowd wasn't just cheering. They were trying to process what they were witnessing in real time. Every pass from Caitlin Clark had that half-second delay, like, wait, did she really just do that? And then boom, the arena erupts. Because this didn't look like a player easing back in. This looked like someone who spent 8 months loading up for a takeover. 3 assist records. One night. 19 minutes. Off the bench. That's not normal. That's generational. What happened against Senegal? That was supposed to be the whole story. A legendary comeback. A stat line that could define an entire career. Social media was already going crazy, analysts calling it one of the greatest debuts in USA basketball history. And honestly, that alone would have been enough to silence every doubter. But nah, that was just the appetizer. Because this wasn't some chill exhibition run, this was a FIBA World Cup qualifier with everything on the line. Every team came in desperate, physical, locked in. Germany bringing that veteran toughness. Italy scheming specifically to slow her down. Spain, one of the top programs in the world, playing with elite discipline. These weren't easy matchups. These were battles. And what did Clark do? She didn't just survive. She carved through all of them. Game after game, she kept shrinking the record books. Assist records, debut records, bench records. It didn't matter. Everything was getting rewritten. And the next clip, yeah, this is where you see how she kept leveling up every single night. Watch this.
Clark, the all-time leading scorer in major college basketball history. Queen Caitlin.
That's the part that really hits different, right? Just when you think she's peaked. Nah, she levels up again. Caitlin Clark wasn't just putting up numbers. She was redefining what efficiency even looks like on this stage. Night after night, she kept stacking records like it was routine, relentless, surgical, straight up unprecedented across the entire history of international competition. And don't forget the physical side of this. 5 games in 7 days. That's brutal for a NY player. But someone coming off 8 months with no real game representatives. Every model, every expert would tell you she's hitting a wall by game 3, maybe game 4 if she's lucky. Fatigue should have kicked in. Rust should have crept back. That intensity should have caught up to her. It never did. Not once. By the time that final game wrapped, Team USA wasn't just winning, they were rewriting history. 14 all-time records, in 5 games, over 7 days. Let that sink in. Most players don't touch one record in their entire international career. She grabbed 14 like it was light work. And that MVP. No debate, no discussion. Locked. Youngest ever to do it. That's legacy stamped in real time. Now here's the crazy part. Even after all that dominance, all those records, all that hype, what happened next might be the most shocking twist of this entire story. Yeah, you're not ready for this next clip.
Caitlin Clark just sitting at 14 points and 12 assists. And we mentioned it, the NCAA all-time leading scorer, men's or women's.
Yeah, that's where things take a wild turn. After everything you just saw, 14 records, undefeated run, youngest MVP ever, you'd think the whole basketball world would be unified in respect. But nah, this is where the drama kicks in. Because while Caitlin Clark was out there rewriting history, sitting at home, not invited, not even in training camp, was A'ja Wilson. And let's be real, that's not just any player. We're talking 3-time MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, Olympic gold medalist, one of the biggest names in the game. No injury, no scheduling conflict, no clear explanation, just left off the list. Meanwhile, other stars got invites and had legit reasons to decline. But Wilson, silence. And the basketball world noticed. So when Clark finishes this historic run and locks an MVP, everybody's watching for reactions. And then Wilson drops that line, "Clark was lucky I wasn't there." Let that sit for a second. Because on one side, you got a player literally breaking 14 world records in real time, and on the other, a statement that suggested all might have gone differently. That's not just competition, that's straight-up beef energy. And here's the kicker, Clark didn't say a word, didn't respond, didn't react, because honestly, she didn't have to. The scoreboard already spoke loud enough. But this didn't come out of nowhere. This tension, it's been building. Subtle at first, then louder, then impossible to ignore. And what happens next takes this rivalry from quiet shade to full-blown spotlight. Yeah, the next clip, this is where everything connects. Watch closely.
Ties a career high. Both times she's had 46 points. It's come against the Wolverines.
And now you're starting to see the pattern, right? This isn't just a one-off comment or a little competitive jab. This is sustained energy. Every time Caitlin Clark hits a new milestone, levels up, or grabs another headline, A'ja Wilson has something to say. Not once, not twice, every single time. That's when it stops feeling random and starts looking like a real pattern. From questioning her stats to reacting to major awards, endorsements, even magazine covers, it's been constant. And while that's happening, Clark's momentum, it's not slowing down, it's exploding. We're talking Athlete of the Year, major brand deals, global spotlight. She's not just playing the game anymore, she's becoming the face of it. And then Nike steps in, and this is where things get serious. Because what they're doing right now, this isn't a normal rollout. This is generational athlete treatment. Full-scale marketing push, designer collaborations, massive campaigns. This isn't just a shoe drop, it's a cultural moment in the making. A signal that they're betting big on Clark as the future of the sport. And when you look at the other side, yeah, the contrast is loud. One brand doubling down, pouring resources, building hype like crazy. That's not random, that's data talking. That's business making a statement about who's driving attention, who's moving the needle, who's shaping the future. So now the question isn't just about performance on the court anymore, it's bigger than that. It's about influence, legacy, and who really owns the spotlight moving forward. And trust me, the next clip takes this from competition to something way bigger than basketball.
Clark now has her own brand logo with Nike.
Man, that last clip really ties everything together. None of what you've seen, records, awards, influence, sponsorships, is hype. This is the market speaking, the fans speaking, the data speaking. Caitlin Clark isn't just dominating on the court, she's shaping the entire ecosystem. Meanwhile, the old guard, A'ja Wilson's approach, it's fading under the weight of Clark's momentum because behavior and influence matter just as much as stats. And here's the game-changing piece you probably noticed. Under Kara Lawson, the system wasn't built for Clark. Democratic offense, slow half-court sets, it worked against her strengths. But one coaching change, one lineup adjustment with Caitlin Clark running the pace alongside Paige Bueckers and Kelsey Plum, and the team exploded. Fast breaks, spacing, rhythm. Team USA dominated every single matchup. Italy, Spain, it was blueprint perfection. Puerto Rico wasn't just a comeback, it was a declaration. The game is evolving around Clark. Every assist, every impossible pass, every record shattered. She's bending the sport to her will. The era of limits is over. Teammates are rising, opponents are scrambling, and the stage is set. And the craziest part, the story isn't over. The signature shoe hasn't dropped. The fully healthy season is ahead. The playoffs are coming, and the world is watching. The gap between potential and history is shrinking every game. So here's the question you need to ask yourself. When the next tip-off happens, will you witness the future of basketball unfold, or will you be left asking what you missed while history was being written? Subscribe now, because you don't want to blink for a second of this.